The next matchup, we've already talked a little bit about Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay against Minnesota. I really don't like this matchup, I'll be honest. Outside of Justin Jefferson, who you're obviously starting, outside of, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, I'm not particularly excited about them. I don't really want to start anything in this game. Are you on board with me, or do you think there's some sneaky value there?
I'm very much on the opposite end of this one. This is one of those games where you look at it, and I think that yes, Tampa Bay could be a mess this year, but the Vikings also could be a mess this year. Last year they I was writing Football Outsiders, and they were just an incredibly hard team to put into DVOA because they kept nearly losing games, but finding a way to get through them. They weren't a good overall holistic defense and offense, and but the Bucks and the Vikings, I kind of see this one like the Vikings quite often got into situations where they had to play fast. They'd get to the line of scrimmage quickly, they'd call plays. You look back last year, like Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson were both like top 5 in total routes run per game because they were throwing, they were getting to the line of scrimmage, they were doing all these things. And those are the kind of situations that I like to target for fantasy. I think, obviously you're starting Justin Jefferson. Obviously you're starting TJ Hawkinson. For me, it comes down to, can you start Jordan Addison from day one? Like I mentioned, Thielen, he was top 25 in targets among wide receivers last year. He was 5th in routes run per game, but he was 84th in yards after catch per game played. And that's what Addison is absolutely going to bring, which will help unlock this offense and I think can keep it moving more often. On the other side of the game, I quite like Rachaad White because, yes, he was a terribly inefficient runner last year. He didn't look particularly great. He didn't really ever steal the job away from Leonard Fournette. But when you look at what's going on now, okay, the Bucs offensive line is still going to be a mess on the interior. Ryan Jensen is practically done in with the NFL after his knee injury. Now is so serious he's not going to be able to play. He's their all-pro center or Pro Bowl center. So they're still going to have problems with the interior offensive line. They're still going to have to get the ball out quickly. And I think Rachaad White could absolutely have plenty of catches in this game. I think at 5,500 on DraftKings, I don't mind playing him as a run back to Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison. And I'm happy to start plenty of these guys in fantasy this week. So I guess one of us is probably going to be wrong on it.
I think you touched on a really interesting point there around Rachaad White. The Bucs were one of the most pass-happy teams last year. They were 68.8% pass under Brady. There were teams in the NFL that were pretty much 50-50. It will be fascinating to understand, are they going to be a close to 70% passing offense again? Are we going to see that regress to that sort of average of around 55 to 60%? If that happens, what's going to happen with those targets? That would be a reduction of about 130, 140 targets on the year. Are we going to see 7-8 less targets per game for the Bucs this year? If so, is that going to see a massive decline in the available opportunities for someone like Mike Evans or Chris Godwin? I'm fascinated to see what the Bucs are going to be like. And for that reason, that's part of the reason I'm a little bit like, I need to see it before I can dive all in.
I think with the Vikings, though, like their defense, it's, their pass defense is going to be a mess. Like, their 2022 first and second round picks went on a safety and a cornerback, and neither of them seem to have taken first team roles or really established themselves. So it's not confidence in Baker Mayfield particularly as much as I just think that the Vikings are a bit of a mess on defense and teams are going to stay in the game against them. And yeah, I'm okay, particularly with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Rachaad White. Anything after that, I think I'm probably out on this week.